Hi, you join us in the atrium in Touchwood Shopping Centre here on an amazing World Book Day. To celebrate World Book Day today, we've got lots of different authors that have come in to do book signings from Brewing Books. And they're effectively bringing lots of local topics, local authors into Touchwood. And for this podcast, we're going to be able to talk to some of them today and see where they're all coming from. The first person I've bumped into is a guy called Patrick Hayes. Now, Patrick, thank you very much for joining us.
It's my pleasure, sir.
Excellent. Now, tell us a little bit about the sort of angle and genre you enjoy writing about.
Well, actually, I'm a playwright by trade. However, I do also do these little books on ghost stories in North Birmingham. And the angle I come from is basically I like to listen to people's experiences, which are always fascinating, and then I try and link it up with historical fact and put the two together and see if we can make sense of people's sightings. But also, I think it gets the imagination and the creativity going.
Excellent stuff. Are you enjoying the day? Are you seeing lots of people come in and experience lots of different types of genres here? Because we've got a few authors.
Yeah. Obviously, I've been quite amazed by the different types, and it seems to be quite busy, and everyone seems to attract an interest.
Excellent. How long have you been writing now, Patrick?
Well, I actually wrote my first play many years ago, back in 1983, and then I started writing these books. First one, Ghost Stories of Ernton, came out in 1996, so it's been a while, and my latest play was out, premiered in Birmingham a few weeks back.
Excellent stuff. Listen, thank you very much for joining us today.
That's fine.
What's next for your writing? Are you working on anything specific now?
Well, on the plays I am, but with the books, I'm going to amalgamate Ghost Stories of Ernton and Sutton together, and I'm going to introduce some characters I've used before, where there's an English vicar and a French psychotherapist go ghost hunting together.
That sounds fun. And what's the timeline on that? Is that imminent?
Well, it's been on the back burner because of other things, but hopefully it'll be out by around the autumn, November, just in time for Halloween.
Excellent stuff. Great. I look forward to it. Thank you very much, Patrick, for joining us, and have a lovely rest of the day. Let's move on. Shirley. Hello, I will do it at some stage. We've just bumped into Shirley Thompson. Now, she is a member of the Society of Authors. She's also a freelance writer. And Shirley, firstly, are you enjoying your day here in Touchwood?
I am very much. It's a lovely promotional day for all of Brewing Books authors. And I've written 13 books in 21 years. And the latest one, 65 Brunswick Road, we're just making into a musical. We're going to perform it, we think, at Solihull Sixth Form College in September. And I've come from a musical family. It's all true, a very true story. And we've joined forces with a theatre company to present it at the Sixth Form College in September, hopefully. And it's really like West Midlands' answer to Oliver. It's all totally true family story. My grandma was a really musical lady. She died in childbirth when she had her 9th child. My grandfather, who'd been through World War I, had a total personality transformation, ran off with a family legacy, leaving my father and his little sister destitute. So we've got orphans in it as well. So it's a bit like the West Midlands answer to Oliver.
Okay. So you say you've written 21 books in the third...
I've worked for 21 years and written 13 books. And some of the most notable are the 3 Pat Roach biographies, Eddie Futrell, Seamus Dunleavy, Alton Douglas, but I've also written children's books and also poetry and all sorts of books, you name it, I've done it. And one about the royal family called Unlocking the Gates, where my co-writers related to them, but we didn't want to be sued by them, so we changed all the identities in it. So a really brilliant range, and I really enjoyed it.
Is your life currently just revolving around sorting the musical out and getting the script right and doing all of the rehearsals?
Totally adapted the book, and we're going to be, performing it in September, we hope. So I've done that, and I've written all the songs and the music for it and everything. And I was a teacher before that, specialising in performing arts, so I'm used to putting on shows and the performing arts and everything,
Brilliant. Can I wish you all the best for that? And maybe if there's some promotional material for it, why don't we talk about it on the radio station here in Solihull?
Because it's really exciting. I think it's there hasn't been a new musical in this area for some time, and I'm really excited about it.
Okay, great. Have a lovely rest of your day, because I know you're off now.
Okay, thanks very much.
No problems. I've enjoyed that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Right, let's have a wander round now. There's a couple of people that I do want to speak to. At some stage, Top Secret Worcestershire will be on our speaking list. Now, we're going to chat with Dave, who is a local author. But Dave, what is the sort of genre and the sort of area that you write in?
Well, I'm here for two reasons today. We do a book on the Boys Brigade called Planet BB, and we have a website, planet-bb.co.uk. And we've sold about 2,000 books over the last 5 or 6 years, and every penny goes to an orphanage in Uganda, and we've sent over £14,000. And I'm also here for Carousel magazine, which my wife and I produce, and we all do it voluntary. The whole team is voluntary, and we send this all over the world, and it's a subscription-only magazine, and it just features all the world of children's books, from reviews, articles, and author interviews.
Okay, tell us a little bit more about your Boys Brigade series. What sort of, are they stories? Is it fiction stuff? Is it tales from what's going on out there? Or
stories about the Boys Brigade all over the world. So there'll be a piece from, it could be Brigade Presidents of Malaysia, it could be a boy, his story in Australia, it can be history of a company, Boys Brigade company from the 18th or 19th century. So it's variety. There's one piece on a gentleman who was in the Boys Brigade for 90 years. He joined about 6 years old. He was about 96 when he died. So it's just a variety of stories all about the Boys Brigade.
Excellent. And all of the money that's raised and collated from that is then put back into that charity in Africa?
Every penny.
Fantastic.
It's called the Christian Children's Centre in a little town called Nansana in Uganda. And this guy who ran them, or still runs the orphanage, he's about 28 now. When he was 18, he set up the orphanage because he was taken into care himself, age of 8 or 9, and he was a street child. Because of the support he'd got, at the age of 18, he set his own orphanage up with over 100 children. Now it's a centre doing lots of things, like it could be health education, making beads to sell in the market, that sort of thing.
Right then, so are you here for any more time, or are you off now for...
We're off for lunch now.
For lunch?
We're only here today till 1 o'clock.
Go and enjoy yourselves, and I'll wander around and speak to some more authors, but I wish you all the best with your book. And like I say, if you would like to download this podcast, Dave, for yourself...
Well, the websites are carouselguide.co.uk and planet-bb.co.uk.
Right, there you go. I don't need to say those again for you. If you're out there and you'd like to find some more information about what Dave and his wife... remind me of your wife's name. Elaine's doing.
One other thing. The Federation of Children's Book Groups give Carousellers a part of their subscription, and they are here at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and they will have Carousel magazines to give away free.
Okay, there you go. If you're around, why don't you come into the atrium in Touchwood, and you can see all these people and meet up with the people that Dave's just mentioned. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Elaine. I appreciate that. Let's wander around, because there's a lady around here that I'd like to have a chat with. And at some stage, this guy... Oh, I'm being pointed to now. Crumbs. There's a man. Good evening. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
How on earth are you? What is your name, sir?
I'm Doug Smith.
And tell me, without this is radio, so I'm going to have to describe. You're in your number twos, are they? Your number ones?
I don't know what to call it really. I'm in my trousers and with braces, with my army shirt on and a First World War cap, and I've got a cap badge from the Royal Warwickshire Regiment. It's the 45th. It's the 16th Battalion Warwickshire Regiment, which is the 3rd Birmingham Pals.
So, without wanting to go too far into it, what's the genre that you enjoy writing in, Doug?
At the moment, it's surprise. This will shock your listeners. I'm First World War. I fell into it by accident. I was a history teacher, and I did research on a war memorial, the Birmingham Transport Ground. And I then did various other books on First World War, and I fell into this beautiful thing, which is called Cheer Boys, It's Hartlebury, which is a story about Hartlebury VAD Hospital in the First World War. And the magical story behind it is that Hartlebury Castle was the Bishop of Worcester's home. It was taken over by a village as a charity, and when they opened a drawer, they found autograph books from the First World War with the soldiers' autographs of the soldiers who had been to the hospital, and they wanted some poor devil to do the research on him. And I did it. So we got original photographs.
Excellent. So you are obviously a local... King's Heath. Okay, local author, and as part of Brewing Books, you're here for today's book launches and book signings.
Exactly, yes.
And it also, funnily enough, coinciding on World Book Day.
World Book Day, which is so important. The granddaughter's gone off dressed as Rapunzel. Yes, so it is really... Brewing should be congratulated because they deal with books, and it is so important to get everybody to enjoy books. Whatever age, as long as they enjoy books, any time for books, get them that interest early.
Exactly that. There is now definitely a generation that are coming away from printed media.
Absolutely, yeah.
So we're in that phase of losing some of the printed media, losing some of the imagination, and having this is very important.
And especially with Brewing, what they're doing is it's local authors that are selling the books or having the books published, and many of these are stories that would be lost. You can look at some of the authors. There's a range of ages, but these are people that have collected stories that need to be told, might not be published by anybody else apart from Brewing. And these, are, in their own way, are important stories because it's individual stories, individual people, and often you don't get the small people being told about.
That's the small local authors and the small, the level that's happening in our community.
Yes, exactly. I mean, with mine, there's 435 soldiers that have lain in a drawer for nearly 100 years, and each one of those guys has passed on, but by writing the book, they live again. 30-odd nurses again, and by writing the book, they live on. My friend John here has written a book about failing football teams in the Midlands, and again, he's written. It is of a time, it is of the people, and it is of interest to people, of local people.
Thank you very much for your time today, Doug.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it. Have a lovely rest of today.
Thank you very much indeed.
Cheers. Right, let's have a wander round. There's another one here, look, I'm being pointed at again. What's your name, sir?
Peter Bullock.
Hello, Peter. And again, what is the genre or area that you enjoy writing?
Well, it's my first ever book, at the age of 82, and it's about my earlier life when I lived a double life. I did a very different thing during the day from what I was doing at weekends. And nobody knew what the other half was.
Are you allowed to say, or do we have to read the book, Peter?
I'll say what it is. I was a teacher. I was head of English at King Edward's, the 6th school in Stratford-on-Avon. And in the weekends, I was a club entertainer and pub entertainer in the Black Country in Birmingham.
That's completely the different sort of two ends of the spectrum there.
Lives, yes.
Excellent. So what your first book, you say?
Yes.
Again, published by Brewing Books, and
yes.
This is World Book Day, so it's all about Am Yao the comic.
That's Black Country for Are You the Comedian.
Right.
Yes.
And to give me some of the
quotation from what someone said to me when I arrived at one of the clubs.
Right, and you've taken that, and at the age of 82, which you are now,
yes.
You've made that your book. And how's it been going?
Well, I've sold some this morning. Yeah, first it's only come out today.
Wow!
Actually, tomorrow, but
the book launch, apart from being available on the Brewing Book stand, is this something that's online or?
Will be tomorrow.
Wow!
Tomorrow.
How does that make you feel?
Very, very proud, really, and pleased, yeah. My wife persuaded me to write it. She said, "You're getting old now." She didn't mean I was going to drop down dead tomorrow, I don't think, but you better write it now, she said. Why haven't you written it before? And I said nobody would be interested, but she thought they would, and Bruins thought so also.
Brilliant stuff. I can see that you're very enthusiastic about it, and you're very much enjoying it. So,
yes.
And you can all find these details of Peter's books and things, all the other different authors that are here in Touchwood today. But why don't you head across to the Brewing Books websites and you can find out the details and see if you can order your copy.
Thanks very much. Thank you very much.
No problems at all. Thanks, Peter. Thanks for your time. Right, let's have a wander around now then, and we can see who else we need to talk to. I've spoken to Dave. Here's Alistair. Now, Alistair is one of the... let me just talk to Alistair briefly. You are the organiser and part of Brewing Books.
My sins, yes.
Tell me about your rationale behind today.
Well, we thought, obviously, being World Book Day, it'd be appropriate to have a little bit of an event to really showcase a lot of the authors that we deal with, really, and to give them a chance to meet the people that buy the books. Nice chance for them, nice chance for us, really.
And this event is running, it started a little bit earlier today, didn't it? And it's running up to this afternoon, late on?
Yeah, running through till 5 o'clock. We've got 3 desks running. Authors change each hour. We're covering as many genres as possible. Obviously, we do a lot of local history. That's what we're probably most well known for, so a lot of that. But also we've got sport, fiction. What else have we got? Lots and lots of things. Social history, cookery, all sorts.
Good stuff. So, and this is the first event you've had in the Touchwood Centre?
Yeah, it's the first Meet the Author event. We've done quite a few pop-up shops here, and it's always really been a nice place to be, really nice place to meet people, have a chat, reminisce. So I guess with a lot of what we do, it's not just history, it's nostalgia. And I think that's where a lot of people come from. That's the angle that they come from, remembering the old days. Oh, I used to live there, I remember that. Brings a lot of memories back to people.
That's very good. I congratulate you. It's a nice feel, nice vibe, and the authors are really enthusiastic about what they do.
Thank you, very kind.
Cheers. That was Alistair. He's from Brewing Books, and he's been the sort of figurehead and the vanguard of bringing these local authors into Touchwood Solihull. I'm going to have a short break now, and then I'm hopefully going to meet up with a few more of these authors and have a chat and see what their stories are. So we'll be right back after this.
You're listening to Solihull Radio.